I was just about to stitch up this project when I realized I could make a little short video about it. Maybe something to do while you're at home right now. Just a sweet project for old stuffed animals. So my husband has this stuffed seal that his a friend of his family made him when he was a baby. And here's his original body in here. And I don't know if you can see it, but he was getting really threadbare. So what I did was I just set the original body on a piece of paper and traced it with a pen like this. And then I did that for all of the parts that I knew I was going to have to make a pattern out for. So here's his tummy, and here's, you know, one side of him, and then here's the other side of him. And then I just cut the pattern out of this new flannel that matches his old body. And then I sewed him by hand because I couldn't find my sewing machine. And then I sewed a new face on. And I tried to keep it as fitting with his... So this isn't what the seal looked like when he was new, obviously. He's a little squished. He's been squished over time. So I tried to keep it so that he looked basically like a new version of himself. And then I just put his old body into his new body like this. And I'm going to put a little bit of stuffing in his face so he's not so squished. And then I'm going to sew up this part. We've actually been keeping him like this just to make sure this works. But then I'm going to sew him up, and then that'll be his new body. I'm going to pause you for a second, then I'll show you what he looks like when he's all sewed up and stuffed. Alright, so he's much more stuffed. Obviously, we don't want to make him too young looking. He is an old seal. But I've got some stuffing in here. I really stuffed him up here, and then tried to sort of like taper the stuffing down so it doesn't look like he just has a bulbous head. But there we are. And now I'm going to sew him up. I'm going to pause the video. Okay, I knew I said I was going to sew him up, but I was in the middle of sewing him up, and then I just thought I would add something. So you'll see it in like probably literally 1 second. So this is what I ended up making. It's just a little heart. It's very lightly stuffed, but I'm going to put it in his little chest there. I don't want it to stuff it. I didn't want to stuff it too much because I don't want it to stand out. But anyway, now he's got a little heart inside. So here's the end result. I've stitched the seal closed. I stuffed his face a little bit more so he's got a little bit of a fuller face. Obviously, I tried to keep the sort of like worn look because I didn't want him to look like a different seal. And I used a ladder stitch to keep him closed. I know that stitch where you can like make it look like there's been no stitching at all, but I don't like that stitch. I don't know why. I mean, I know this is kind of like messy, but I like it when I hand stitch something that it looks hand stitched. All right. That's the end of our seal project. Say goodbye. Goodbye. I can't do this. I can't hold the seal and say goodbye with him. Goodbye. All right.